Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Nadia Rajput from DESI TV USA. Let's have a look at the headlines. United States President Donald Trump on Thursday launched his Board of Peace, initially focused on cementing Gaza's ceasefire. Greenland's Prime Minister said Thursday that he was not aware of the contents of a framework agreement about the Danish autonomous territory that US President Donald Trump announced after a meeting with NATO's chief. Bangladesh began official campaigning on Thursday for the hugely anticipated general elections next month. United States President Donald Trump said his message to Russian leader Vladimir Putin was that the war in Ukraine has to end. Let's look into details. United States President Donald Trump on Thursday launched his Board of Peace, initially focused on cementing Gaza's ceasefire, but which he said could take a wider role that may worry other global powers, with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and other world leaders signing the body's charter. Once this board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do, and we'll do it in conjunction with the United Nations, Trump said, adding that the United Nations had great potential that had not been fully utilized. Trump, who will chair the board, invited dozens of other world leaders to join, saying he wants it to address challenges beyond the stuttering Gaza truce, stirring misgivings that it could undermine the UN's role as the main platform for global diplomacy and conflict resolution. While Pakistan, regional Middle East powers including Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia and Qatar, as well as major emerging nations such as Indonesia, have joined the board, global powers and traditional Western US allies have been more cautious. Greenland's Prime Minister said Thursday that he was not aware of the contents of a framework agreement about the Danish autonomous territory that US President Donald Trump announced after a meeting with NATO's chief, but stressed no deal could be made without involving the island. Nobody else than Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark have the mandate to take deals or agreements about Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark without us, Jens Fredrik Nelson told a press conference. We have some red lines. We have to respect our territorial integrity. We have to respect international law sovereignty, he added. US President Donald Trump backed down on threats to seize Greenland by force after meeting NATO chief Mark Rutte on Wednesday, saying he had reached a framework for a deal on the Danish autonomous territory. Details of the agreement made at the World Economic Forum in the Swiss ski resort of Davos remain scant. Nelson said he was happy that Trump had stated that the use of force was off the table, but that he was not aware of the contents of the deal. I don't know what there is in the agreement or the deal about my country, Nelson told reporters.
Now I am American. I have citizen.
I still have my Salvadorian passport and now I have my USA passport. I am a citizen of the US.
Khi cầm cái hộ chiếu Mỹ, cô rất là tự hào mình là công dân Mỹ.
La ciudadanía para mí significa oportunidades.
Si ya tienen el tiempo que pueden hacerse ciudadanas, que lo hagan.
No pierde nada uno con intentarlo.
Como dicen en México, echándole ganas todo se puede.
Bangladesh began official campaigning on Thursday for the hugely anticipated general elections next month, the first since the 2024 uprising ended the autocratic rule of Sheikh Hasina. Tens of thousands of flag-waving supporters of key frontrunner Tariq Rahman of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party crowded the streets of the northern city of Sylhet, chanting his name. We have liberated the country from autocratic rule, Prime Ministerial hopeful Rahman, who returned to Bangladesh in December after 17 years in exile, told crowds of BNP loyalists, "Now we must establish the rights of the people." Rahman vowed to create jobs for millions of unemployed youth and support women's economic independence. Key rival Jamaat-e-Islami, the largest Islamic party in Muslim-majority nation of 170 million, began its campaign in the capital Dhaka after being crushed during Hasina's 15 years in power. United States President Donald Trump said his message to Russian leader Vladimir Putin was that the war in Ukraine has to end, after what he said were good talks with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Davos on Thursday. US and Ukrainian officials have spent weeks in frenetic shuttle diplomacy as Kyiv faces pressure from Trump to secure peace in the nearly 4-year-old war. Despite few signs, Moscow wants to stop fighting. After meeting with the Ukrainian leader that lasted around an hour, Trump said they had a good discussion about but provided no further details on the substance of the conversation. On Wednesday, Trump has said a deal was reasonably close. I think the meeting with President Zelensky was good. It's an ongoing process, Trump told reporters, saying the US envoys were heading for talks in Moscow today. Asked what his message was for Putin, Trump replied the war was to end. That's all for now. Keep watching DESI TV USA. Please like, subscribe, share and comment, and don't forget to watch our channels DTV NN and DESI Urdu TV.
Now I am American. I have citizen.
I still have my Salvadorian passport, and now I have my USA passport. I am a citizen of the US.
Khi cầm cái hộ chiếu Mỹ, con rất là tự hào mình là công dân Mỹ.
La ciudadanía para mí significa oportunidades.
Si ya tienen el tiempo que pueden hacerse ciudadanas, que lo hagan.
No pierde nada uno con intentarlo.
Como dicen en México, echándole ganas, todo se puede.
Neurological care is a pressing healthcare challenge in Pakistan. That's why Helping Hand USA is building Kind R, a world-class hospital with 130 plus clinics that is set to establish new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. As the first phase nears completion, anticipation is growing for the launch in the second half of 2025. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine future healthcare in Pakistan.